Hello, my name is James. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. S.N.A.F.U. turns up the conspiracy as Ben goes undercover trying to find the source of the experiments. The cold opening is right out of a heist film as we're walking through the plan. It's fun to see Manifest dive headfirst into the action and Ben's so willing to follow. He's come a long way from the pilot where he was encouraging his sister to bottle everything up. Cal is feeling better, but he's not out of the woods yet. Ben knows his son is still connected to Marco, which means his life is still in danger. He decides to take a low-level accounting job at JP Williamson in order to find out more information. While it looks suspicious, Ben is able to charm his way through an interview to secure a position. Thanks to his supervisor being obsessed with aliens and the flight, Ben also cons his way to a high security badge. Even S.N.A.F.U. is impressed when Ben reveals some of his new information. He has found a woman named Fiona Clark who works for whoever is in charge of the experimentation. She's a doctor on Flight 828 who told Kelly Taylor that the plane was for her. S.N.A.F.U. reveals Clark was a bit of a loon in the scientific field but became a hit in spiritual. She believes in multiple human brains working together as one, similar to the callings. Ben and S.N.A.F.U. head to one of her speeches where they're greeted by an uncomfortable, "I've been waiting for you." Michaela spends most of this week's manifest trying to navigate her guilt over Evie's death and relationship with Lourdes. She's taken to comforting Evie's mom, who constantly forgets her daughter is dead. In the meantime, she's distracted by her latest case. A young man, Carlos, witnesses his uncle get shot and murdered but deals with survivor's guilt. While he immediately bonds with Michaela, he still won't give a positive ID. She's able to figure out he stole the murder weapon with the intention of killing the man responsible. Unfortunately, she had to run out of a dinner with Lourdes and Jared to confront Carlos. This adds a little bit of tension to the partners when he thinks the voices are getting in the way of her work. Never underestimates the voices though, and Carlos ends up arriving at the precinct. He hands over the gun, but the suspect has already been cut loose. Josh Dallas might have a future career as an action star because he's charming as ever as a sleuthing accountant. Manifest reveals Fiona Clark did receive funding for her research, but from a non-profit called the Singularity Project. She's not aware of any experiment, which sends Ben back to JP Williamson. He joins in on a poker game with some colleagues where he convinces the IT guy to show him some data. The following day, he accidentally spills some coffee on the guy and downloads the info about the SP. Sadly, a random security check foils Ben's plans to meet up with S.N.A.F.U. Vance is reading all of his texts and intercepts the Elder Stone before he can escape. They cut a deal with Ben handing over the flash drive but not getting arrested. But the time is ticking as Cal reveals he can feel Marco is getting worse. It's a pretty rough day for Ben all in all, since he has to watch Danny drop off his daughter from a day of climbing. Seems like he's still trying to be understanding with Danny. He encourages Olive to continue climbing and is cordial to Danny. In pursuit of the released suspect, Michaela is overtaken by a calling again. She feels a heartbeat and eventually it leads her to the red-hooded man before he can kill again. When she goes to tell Carlos the good news, she feels the heartbeat again. Turns out, Carlos almost died of heart failure and Evie was his donor. Perhaps this was her way of telling Michaela she doesn't have to suffer any longer. As for Cal, his intuition is becoming stronger with each new episode of Manifest. He tells his dad that Vance isn't a bad man anymore, which hints at a team-up between the two in the future. Near the end of the episode, Vance calls off Powell and his NSA squad by lying about the information from Ben. Could Powell be in on the secret experiments happening? It doesn't seem like Vance doesn't trust him very much. Ben feels a little lost, especially since Michaela got her sign from Evie. However, Manifest reveals Cal actually drew a picture of Carlos with the heart earlier. In one of the previous episodes, Cal had drawn a shadow man with his family. Will his drawings give Michaela, Ben, and S.N.A.F.U. a hint about what callings to expect in the future? S.N.A.F.U. is one of Manifest's stronger episodes because of its fast pace. Olive and Grace only seem to serve as a reminder that Ben needs to hide this new part of himself. Hopefully, as the secrets come out, the show is able to integrate them more into the bigger plot. What did you think of this week's Manifest? Be sure to tell us in the comments below.